did you make of the overall performance from our three Lions?
Yeah, I think we mentioned that we needed to move the ball a little bit quicker. I just felt like when we got in that final third, that intricate play, little 1-2s movements just needed to be a little bit faster. And I think there was a couple of good crosses into the box, and sometimes we had Harry Kane going front post, and then there's no one arriving at the back. So I think we just needed bodies in the box, and yeah, obviously more chances would have hopefully meant more goals.
Yeah, I agree. It was a flat performance, but one thing this group of players have done, they've put some money in the bank already. You know, they've put some great performances. Tonight, it was one of them games, Jules. We think so many of our key players had big changes in their life. Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice. You know, so they just wasn't all connecting, and coming up against a Ukraine team that just built like they were locked into this energy in this stadium. They were on it from the start. You know, and listen, we come away from home and we've got a point, so you have to look at the positives. And also, there's a few things tactically. I think Gareth Southgate, when he gets on the plane tomorrow, he'll be happy that things have happened. You know, like we could have done better on the turnovers, like dealing with counter-attacks. And I think the better we get, the more we'll have to deal with that against teams with a little bit better quality than Ukraine. So there's a few things that the team can work on. So all in all, a positive night.
Well, what didn't quite work tonight?
I don't think we were quite at our best attacking, to be honest. I think we controlled large parts of the game with possession. Well, we dominated the game. We had all the ball and stuff. I don't remember too many chances that they had. But I don't think we were at our free-flowing best tonight with the ball in the front third, in the build-up, in the attacking play. And sometimes you have nights like this, and they make it difficult. They sit in with a low block, hence why we had so much possession. And it was quite tough to break down, so I'd probably put it on that.
Why do you think that was, that you couldn't find that space, that you couldn't quite click?
Partly their system, their setup. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses. The pitch wasn't great. It was very bobbly, very hard to get the zip in the passing and the touch. A lot of the touches were bobbling up. A lot of mistimed first touches, which doesn't help. But taking the excuses away, we probably weren't good enough with the ball in the front third, to be honest. And that's down to myself, the other attacking players, and like I said, sometimes you have nights like these. But I think it's important that you don't lose the game when you have them nights, and that's a big point towards qualification.
Give us an insight into what the mood's like in the dressing room though after that.
Yeah, I think a little bit disappointed for sure. We can control the game for pretty much 90% of it, and we just lacked a little bit in the final third, to be honest. Our build-up play was good, our second, third play was good, but just in the final third we couldn't quite have those fast connections. You know, we was a little bit unlucky. We hit the bar, keeper made a couple of good saves, but I think we just dropped below our standards in that aspect. But look, when you're not at your best and you still come away with a point, it shows the sign of a good team. So it's not the end of the world. We're in a great place in qualification, and we move on to the next one.
Alex, a huge point for Ukraine this evening, a point that you played a huge part in getting. How do you sum it up?
Well, I think it's an amazing result for us. Obviously, England's at the moment one of the best teams in the world. We knew it's going to be hard. We knew that most of the times we have to defend. And I think in general we did well in terms of defensive side. Of course, like we always could do better, but it's so tough, you know, to play against this kind of side like England.
We all felt the emotion inside the stadium, particularly when you scored that goal. Talk us through it from your perspective.
Well, amazing team play, I would say, from the right side, and I tried to be on the spot where I had to be. This is my job, and yeah, I was a bit lucky, you know. An amazing pass from our right back, Efim. So, and obviously the atmosphere was unbelievable. Massive thanks for the support. We felt like we played at home.
Your first England goal at the 77th attempt. I think it looked from your celebration like you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's just a relief, obviously, to represent your country and be as fortunate as I have this many times to not score. It's been on my mind, but now I can tick that off. I've done it, and I've finally got an England goal after 77.
Dion Dublin said in commentary that it was a centre-forwards finish. What was better, though, the finish or that ball from Harry Kane?
No, I mean, obviously, I played with H for a number of years now, and I know that he likes to drop deep and look for that run. So I've seen the gap, and luckily he's found me, which he 9 times out of 10 he does find the person who he's passing it to, and I put it away. So listen, I'm good that I can contribute to the team in the other end, but you know, first and foremost I'm a defender, and you know, my main job is stopping goals.
Well, it's a good goal for him to celebrate, but his battle with Mudryk on the pitch tonight was fascinating to watch as well, wasn't it, Jill?
Yeah, I thought Kyle Walker was probably our best player tonight, even apart from the goal, just his tracking back. I swear he gets faster. He's like as quick as like a 21, 22-year-old, and his fitness levels are through the roof. So, yeah, I thought he was England's best player tonight.
I was never as quick as that at 21 or 22.
Well, Gareth, the 100% record in qualification comes to an end. How do you assess your team's performance this evening?
Well, very tough place to come. You could feel the atmosphere as a unique occasion, really. So I thought we controlled the game. I think we had over 70% of the ball, so we pacified a lot of that atmosphere by controlling the game. What we didn't do well enough was our work in the final third. We didn't create enough chances from the possession and territory that we had. So if that's the case, you've got to make sure you don't lose the game. And having gone behind in the game, to come back and get the point in terms of qualification, very important.
Ukraine scored with the game's first shot on target. I think England had 74% possession after 30 minutes. Did you sense the team were getting frustrated?
Well, not really. I think clearly when you have that much of the ball, you want to create more chances, and our attacking play didn't click today. So, but yeah, what you've got to make sure is that on those counter attacks that the cover's right, and you don't leave yourselves exposed in those moments. As I said, once you've gone behind, then you've got a bit of a mountain to climb away from home, but we kept calm. We get the goal back from a very well worked bit of play between Harry and Kyle, which really calm finish. And then again, we controlled the game. They had a few counter attacks, but if anybody was going to win it, I felt it would be us. But we didn't create enough good chances to deserve that.
It was a bit of an unlikely goal scorer in Kyle Walker, his first England goal on his 77th cap. How pleased are you for him? He's become an England stalwart, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, and his all-round game was exceptional tonight. You know, he showed really important defensive qualities. His cover of a very good winger, a very quick winger. We know it's a huge attribute of Kyle's, but he used the ball well. He got forward for the goal really well, and he showed great composure to take it. He's a really important player in our group.
And that ball from Harry Kane as well on the week where I asked you if maybe he was going to stay more advanced as he is with Bayern. We saw just how effective he can be from those areas.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult to get in between their midfield lines. They defended well, they got numbers back. So a little bit too often our players were coming outside the block. But, you know, when they've got the quality like Harry has, then sometimes that can pay off.
Lots of teams will set up, as Ukraine did against England, and make it very hard for you to find the space that you want. How do you ensure that England can make the most of their attacking riches and turn these points into three?
Yeah, well, we just have to keep working on the training pitch at those attacking patterns. Pitch was a little bit slow today without, giving us an out, but sometimes when you want to zip balls through, it was a little bit bobbly and it was a little bit dry. But we know that our play can be better than it was today.
And just a word on defensively as well, because we've talked a lot about Harry Maguire. He's got 57 caps, not enough club football, you've said it yourself. And then Mark Gahey, who hasn't had too many caps. How did you feel they did? Yeah,
very good. And especially for Mark, that's a really great test for a young centre-back in one of his first qualifying games for us. I thought he came through it really well. Good composure, never looked ruffled, positionally good. So I'm very pleased with what he did.
This does mean that you can't qualify now until October. How frustrating is that for you?
There's qualifications 8 games, and we had probably the toughest qualifying group around because of the seeding. So we've taken 4 points from the 2 big away games, and yes, of course, we want to play better than we did tonight, but it's a really important point.
And Scotland on Tuesday, a very different type of test. What do you want to see better?
Well, as you say, it will be a completely different game. They're going really well. They're a good side, very strong in the middle of the park, especially difficult to score goals against. So there will be some similarities in needing to play well to break them down. But we've got to reflect on tonight and improve upon the performance.
Thanks for your time, Gareth.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that Scotland game. You can watch it live on Channel 4 Tuesday, 7 o'clock. We'll be pitchside at Hampden Park. But let's pick out a few things that Gareth Southgate touched on there, Jill, about tonight's performance. First of all, the fact that England didn't create enough chances. One of the things he said is that they didn't click attacking-wise. Why is that?
I'm not too sure. Obviously, as Joe touched on, there's been a lot of players been through changes. You don't get a lot of time with national teams, so if the team is changing quite a bit, have they got time to work on them partnerships? So hopefully that's something we can see develop over time. There was little bits of it. I thought we did show a little bit more patience in the second half, and then that was kind of just that final third play. But I think there's a lot of positives from tonight as well. I think the expectation now is that we want England to score 4 goals, 7 goals, because we know how good this team is. And as Gareth said, the character that they showed to get themselves back in the game. So there is positives from tonight as well.
Chilwell came into the side tonight, Joe, and we could see that when England were in possession, he was pushing up quite high up the pitch, and that meant that Maddison could cut in more centrally. Did that work for you?
I think at times it worked. I think they've got a lovely connection. You know, I feel Chilwell's better on the front foot when he's playing in behind. I think he's exceptional at that. He didn't do nothing wrong tonight, he's done well. But going back to what Gareth said about it just didn't quite click tonight. It just didn't. You know, but we always have to remember these boys have put a lot in the bank. I know I said it earlier. You know, they can't score 4 and 7 against anyone, and you do have to take in consideration Ukraine's exceptional performance. And also what's happened. I'm not giving the players outs. You know, Gareth, I think, when he gets on the plane, he will feel that there's enough. There was enough positives there, but there's also enough things to work on. And sometimes, you know, you can lose a game, or when you draw a game, you get a point, and you can think to yourself, right, we can work on that. And Tuesday night against Scotland will be a different proposition. We will qualify comfortably. What we will have to do, I don't think at the back end of a tournament we'll be as flat going forward as we were tonight, because we'll be more prepared and everything. But I think biggest thing to come out tonight is I think we could just do a little bit better on the turnovers. When you know, don't let, because I feel teams will respect us now and drop off. Good teams as well, and they'll try and catch us with pace on the break. So I think that's something that can come out this tonight to be a positive.
Yeah, I think we speak about them partnerships in attack, but I think you make a good point there. Also the partnerships in defence, because there was times I felt Chilwell had 2 players. Maddison sometimes not blocking the ball into the winger or not being able to get to the full-back, and then I thought Rashford kind of left him with 2 at times as well. So it works both ways. When you work on them partnerships, it has to be in attack and in defence.